if you are watching this and you really like what you're seeing, please subscribe. It's just a click away, and like this video. So today we're gonna do another episode of or reviews for Normies, and basically what I do is I bring about a comic or a show, and I explain like a plot to it to people who don't really watch anime or read manga or comics or webtoons or video games even. So it's for those people, but of course, not everyone that watches it has to not ever like indulge in this content before. You don't have to have had not read it. If you still like to just like I do that too, like you just like to watch the reviews just to see how accurate I am to the plot, I guess, then you would enjoy this too. Or if you want to like show this to like other people that you feel don't really take time to like read or watch like whatever, you can also show them this video, and hopefully they would understand why you like these things so much, because the story's pretty good. Just it's not your traditional movie or TV or book consumption. So without further ado, we're going into chapters 5 and 6 of Killing Stalking, which is what we're focusing on right now. So where did I leave off? Alright, the rat poison stew. So Sang-woo is like, you know what? Why don't you take the first bite? If anyone tells you to take the first bite, you probably think it's poisoned, which is what we're thinking now. He knows. He like knows. And that's what Yubum's thinking too. He's like, oh my god, he knows, and he's like, gonna eat it first to prove it's been poisoned. If I say no, he's gonna kill me. And if I do eat it, I'm gonna die. So I'm dead either way if I do this. So Yubum gets a spoonful, puts it in his mouth, and doesn't swallow it. Sang-woo can tell Yubum did not swallow the stew, so he calls him ugly, offhandedly, and makes him swallow the stew. He knows. He knows. Then, this is when I'm like, wait, what? He eats it. Sang-woo eats it. The stew with the rat poison. Yeah, I'll give you a moment to process that. Why did he do that? Because I still don't know. Why did he do that? Didn't he know the stew is poisoned? That's why he made Yubum eat it? All he says is that it's a little salty. That's all he says about it. Anyway, Sang-woo puts on Killing Me Softly again while Bum is doing the dishes. And he feels terrible because he just ate rat poison. So he's sweating, he's throwing up, everything's getting dizzy. He passes out because he's been poisoned by himself. And then Sang-woo comes out. I'm just gonna stop a moment. I already know what you're thinking. Sang-woo ate that food, right? How in the hell is he fine? I'll be honest, I don't even know. To this day, I don't even know. Sang-woo is not human. Like, he may have thrown it up, maybe? But why would he eat it in the first place if he knew Bum poisoned it? Why else would he do that? Right? Like, okay, iron stomach. He comes upstairs after hearing Yubum collapse. So he scoops him up and takes him to the basement to kill him. But then, I guess he had a change of heart or came up with a new idea. Or wants Bum to still be his slave. And instead takes him to his bedroom. He gives him salt water and tries to get him to throw it all up. And he even needs a bucket so he can like vomit. So as someone who has gotten this far, when I read it at this point, so I'm reading it as if I was like when I first read it, I was under the impression that Sang-woo is way too familiar with poisoning, right? Like, he knows what to do in the event of someone poisoning you through your food, like it was a fire drill or something. Like, has he been poisoned before by someone, like, enough times to remain calm or even to eat poisoned food himself? This is what I was thinking when I got to this chapter. I was just not confused, but perplexed. He lets Yubum rest. Hours go by, and Yubum can hear Sang-woo killing his next victim in the basement, since he changed his mind about killing Bum, so he had to kill someone, apparently. Cyclops returns and checks in on Bum, and Bum, thinking, were we, like, are you okay? Because he ate the food? And Sang-woo, seeming to have anticipated this question, plays dumb and is like, yeah, I'm fine. Why? Bum's like, how is he fine? Like, then Sang-woo is like, Bum, is there something you want to tell me? Bum gets scared, of course. You can't tell him you tried to poison him, so Sang-woo starts counting down from 5 like a kindergarten teacher, and Bum's like, can I start eating with you from now on? Because he has to say something, right? Like, he knows, like, he's trying to withhold information. Bum has that, like, vibe that, like, he's withholding information, so he has to say something, anything. Sang-woo's surprised by the question. And then he tells him, like, what's wrong? You don't like the little table? It's from my childhood. Me and my mom always ate dinner on the floor with it, while my dad took the dinner table for himself. Yeah, this is the part where we all go, oh. And they were not allowed to talk to him. They were not allowed to look at the dad. But Sang-woo's father would just watch them. Sound familiar? Especially the mother. And the moment either of them annoyed him, he would start throwing dishes at them and beating up Sang-woo's mother in front of him. None of us are surprised because these behaviors are learned behaviors, so it explains why Sang-woo is the way he is, at least some of it. Then Sang-woo's like, I've never actually told anyone about my abusive childhood. Why am I telling you this? Then goes, maybe because I can tell you were abused too, and points out Bum's risks and asks if his dad gave him those. Actually, Bum's parents died when he was very young. So he lived with his grandparents in his childhood, and then when he got to middle school, his grandfather died, and then his uncle moved in to help take care of Bum and his grandmother. His uncle was the abusive one, but the cuts on his wrists were caused by Bum, because he would cut his wrists because he was very lonely. That's what he told Sang-woo. He didn't have any friends growing up. No one liked him. His uncle hated him. His grandmother didn't do anything whenever he would beat Bum up, which is sad because Bum trusted his grandmother. Like, she took care of him when he was a kid, and you're letting, like, your son beat his nephew up, like, in front of you, like this. And then Bum often got in trouble with the police, especially well into his adulthood, because he was a stalker. You guys forgot? Yeah, you guys forgot that. We all did, because, you know, when you're a victim in Sang-woo's house, you forget this little minor detail that Bum's not this clean, like, perfect, innocent victim. He's still a stalker. That's how he got here in the first place. So Sang-woo is like, you know what? I actually hate perverted stalkers, and I hate guys like you who like playing the victim. You are just a self-pitying loser who's, instead of proving your family members wrong and making something out of yourself, you don't do shit. You still live with your abusive uncle at your age with no job, even though you finished college. What the hell are you doing with yourself? Cut that shit out and stop being a freaking stalker and get a job. We do not support Sang-woo. But I hate the fact that he's speaking some truth here. He's a hell of a hypocrite, though, like, you're still a psychotic serial killer. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I can't go back to my uncle. I don't want to go back to him. And Sang-woo is like, don't worry. You will never go back to your uncle because you're staying right here. I can be your family now. So this is what I would like to call emotional manipulation. Not the dismembering, or the torture, or the molestation. This is probably the scariest thing about Sang-woo. He is manipulating Yoon Bum into not even wanting to leave the house anymore. He goes on to be like, you know, my mom, no one has ever showed me love before until you. Like, actual devotion. Like, you love me. That makes me feel so strong. Not like makes me feel good or makes me feel like makes me feel strong. That's. He then kisses Bum. Ew, he threw up Sang-woo. But he kisses Bum, so now Bum is in full-on Stockholm syndrome. I'm talking they kiss, and immediately Bum is offering Sang-woo to perform sexual favors for him. And Sang-woo's like, nah, you kinda scary. But they do still get hot and heavy. Now we see how Sang-woo continues to manipulate Bum. The next day, apparently Sang-woo let Bum share his bedroll with him. And they hang out in and lets him hang out in his bedroom until he got home from work. Like, Bum is now treated like a house guest, temporary roommate, boyfriend. So he cleans, He's cooking dinner, but Bum is unsure what exactly is going on between he and Sang-woo, and spacing out. He drops the pot he was cooking and gets scared because that means Sang-woo's gonna beat him up. So Sang-woo comes up from the living room, like, what happened, and sees Bum's trying to scoop up the dinner. Sang-woo sees that Bum burned himself, and instead of beating the shit out of him as he has been doing for almost a month now, he tries to tend to his burns. So, like all of us, well, I guess we're not as confused as Bum is. We know what he's doing. But Bum's confused. Like, he's not going to hit me? Why is he helping me? It's like he's a completely different person. Sang-woo even starts flirting with Bum, like, oh, you silly roly-poly, you silly goose, always clumsy, classic Bum, ha ha ha. You're so cute. Like, acting like he's Bum's boyfriend all of a sudden. And Bum's like, what the fuck? For the following week, this is how Sang-woo has been acting. He helps Bum bathe. He gives him different clothes to wear every day. He even, during this entire duration, is not even going down the basement himself. So he spends the week in the living room now, watching like TV or studying or whatever. And Bum's like, it's like the Sang-woo when I first came here. Like, that whole thing with the killing and all of that was a nightmare. Like, it never happened. Like, he doesn't even, like, have victims coming to his house anymore during this duration. Like, it's like he's just living a normal life. I mean, it's not like he's gonna have a victim every day. But, like, the entire time Bum has been there, it seems like he's always killing somebody in the basement. Or he has somebody in the basement. But during this duration, there's no one there. It's like that never happened. It's so weird. Like, he don't even bring Bum to the basement anymore. He sleeps in Sang-woo's bed. Like, he sleeps with him for the past week. Like, they're a couple. Like, they even, like, act like a couple. Like, they even, like, like, get frisky. They don't have sex. They made it very clear that they don't have sex, but they get pretty close to it. So now you Bum's like, are we together? Emotional manipulation. Even during the day, Sang-woo has the day off. It's like the weekend, and gets Bum snacks. They hang out. He even stopped making Bum clean. Bum just cooks now, but only because Bum feels like he should do something, and Sang-woo jokes it's because Bum's better cook. They are acting like like a living couple now. He changes his bandages, like he didn't break his legs. So one day, Bum is taking a nap in the kitchen, and Sang-woo gets a call from a friend of his who needs help with studying or something. I don't know what it was about, but a friend called him, wanting to meet with him at a cafe. So Sang-woo trusts Bum to stay home alone. Like, alone. Like, he can leave, and Bum's just chilling there. And he tells Bum he'll be back in an hour. An hour? You have an hour to yourself? So he leaves Bum alone, and Bum's like, okay, now's my chance to escape. And that's where chapter 6 ends. So what's going on? Like, why is he being like this? Well, we know. Bum doesn't, but we know. But this part was very weird, right? Like, he left him home alone. So Bum is like gonna take that chance. Like, I have an hour? I could literally get through there in like 10 minutes, less than. And you're not even here to stop me. So, what do you think's gonna happen? So, if you like this video, please subscribe, like the video, and share it. So, I'll catch you next time. Touch on you